Yeah. We're here. Show today. We do have a show. We kind of touched on 600,000 Chinese students, but we didn't really get into why. We just kind of mentioned it. So maybe break that down more. New York Times, working out's dangerous. We're going to get into that. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the name Chris Watts. He's a man, I believe there was a Netflix documentary about this, but he killed his wife and his children. Gross. But he says he found God in prison. So I think we're going to talk about that because I always found this interesting. Gilfs. We're going to talk about Gilfs. I don't know if everyone's familiar with the term. Air quotes Maryland man. We're going to get into that because there's a new little break in that. Hammurabi's Code. We're going to talk about 14-year-olds self-defense with knives. That should be interesting. And not dating white men specifically. So with all of that said, where do we start?
Arming 14-year-olds with knives.
You're opting for 14-year-old knife defense.
Yeah, it's that or don't date white men.
So the story goes that police have arrested and charged a 14-year-old girl after she was forced to brandish a knife to defend herself and her friend against a migrant who attempted to assault her near St. Anne's Lane in Dundee, Scotland, which is known for non-white people, I think. Actually, it's what they're very famous for.
What their immigration rates are, David?
I bet they're growing.
1,600% or whatever. I have no video, only audio.
Motherfuck. Did I... Wait a minute. Presentation mode. Rookie move. Hold on. Going back.
You don't dare!
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't dare fucking prove it! You're fucking bad and
Why you fucking with us?
These are fucking kid bashers!
Show the knife. Show the knife. Show the knife.
Away from us!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch her!
That's it. That's it. Show the knife. Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister! She had fucking
Do you hear him? It's like once they found the loophole, they're running with it.
It's fucking 12 and you just bastard me, mate!
Yeah, show the knife. Maratha.
Don't touch her gun to me! Don't touch her! No, you don't dare!
Okay, first of all, this girl is grade A badass, just for the record. But secondly, in what world do 14-year-old girls feel like they need to run around the streets with knives and an axe? I think that looked very much like an axe. What culture has been created in these nations? Britain, with all their migration rates that we've talked about, if you want to call it migration and not invasion. Scotland,
well, dude, that whole area of the world just like stabbing each other. You know, that whole, I mean, just.
But their gun crime is very low, Ryan. The
they don't
rate
have
of violence
firearms,
with a firearm. Well,
just getting more like 6 times more likely to get stabbed there. So, I mean,
well, that's.
I've never been shot. So, but
I haven't been shot or stabbed. It almost sounds like I'd rather have firearms than knives.
I'd rather get shot, for the record, probably. I don't know. I don't want to wish ill on anybody, but all the same. I don't know. It'd be harder for.
Like it sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Mass stabbing at a school instead of a mass shooting. I don't know. Maybe stabbings wouldn't happen in schools.
Like maybe this is ego, but I feel like I have a better chance against an attacker. I don't think it's ego. I think it's just, in my opinion, it's common sense. It's logic. I have a way better chance fighting someone with a knife than somebody with a gun. I would think. Especially if it was like a group.
You think it's easier to disarm a guy with a knife than a gun?
I think I have a better chance in general.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You ever hear like the 3 feet rule or whatever, 6 foot rule?
No.
6 foot or closer, you're kind of useless with firearms.
Yeah, but getting within the 6 feet is what gets difficult.
What if I'm already within 6 feet?
And I'm pulling a gun? Like,
Yeah, I'm
we're
beating.
next to
I'm
each
beating
other
you
and then
before you. Yeah, I'm beating you before you get your gun with a knife.
well, I guess in that scenario, sure.
I'd rather take the guy with the gun, right?
Sure, in that scenario, yeah. But I think
Yeah,
in like a like you brought up like a mass school stabbing, right?
mhm.
Like that situation, like that's already happening. So now I have to get in close. Whereas if it's a firearm, getting in close is going to be difficult. Once you're
Yeah,
in close, sure.
obviously, firearms superior. That's why it wins. I don't know. There's no easy answer, but David, to your real point, it's like, what did this girl's parents teach or arm herself with? Or maybe they're just racist. Let's be honest. Maybe they're just racist
Dude,
Scotsmen
Europeans
that
in
hate
general
immigrants.
are fucking racist as fuck. It's kind of great.
Yeah, maybe it's just like the way it is or whatever. But
It might be the thing that saves Europe. That's probably a crazy thing to say, like
well,
without
David,
context. But like racism might save Europe.
it's the very same thing that caused like both world wars, David. Some would say. Them God blessed Polacks, those Germans. Like, you guys know you're all the same white people. No, they're all different white people, David. We're all the same, just bunch of
I think
clumps of cells. But
enough
black people are
people
a minority. Cells are special over there, David. These ones are just a clump here.
I think if you have enough bad stories about Muslims causing violent acts without these nations, like the UK and Ireland. I think we had a video about one in Ireland recently, but Scotland, any of these places, like Norway, whatever, any of these places. I think the more you see that, the more racism it's going to brew, and like the racism will almost make you preemptively self defend yourself, if that makes sense. Like you're now going to be on edge, you're going to be on your toes. It was almost like, do you remember when that shooting happened in Buffalo, and we were talking about like it's kind of messed up, but now you're out in like the grocery store or Walmart and you're like looking for your exits. Like you just constantly kind of have an awareness about, because you never know. And I think that sort of thing could potentially be happening in Europe, because you're like, all right, it's like the joke about white people crossing the street when there's black people coming on the one side. I don't think that happens in real life. For well, at least I've never done that personally. But
You're 6'2", David.
yeah, but like three black people. I mean, I'm a decent fighter, Ryan. But I think anytime you get into groups,
Well, I mean, granted, Voldemort can't even fight off 51 kangaroos. So
50 kangaroos would beat Voldemort. So what would three black adults do to me, Ryan?
ask Gronk, see what it says. I'm just kidding.
But no, I think in like when you're in these European nations now, you're kind of on it, because here's the thing with Europe: it's very white, extremely white in Europe. For people who don't know that, breaking news: very white in Europe. So when you're in Europe and you see a very obviously not white person, all right, get the axe ready. It sounds crazy, but it could be the thing that saves somebody's life. So if it saves my life to be a little, maybe slightly racist, I'm probably going to choose my life.
It's probably where tribalism came from, David.
Well, maybe that's like the deepest rooted biological nature in humanity. Like,
Cain and Abel is the first story, David, after humans became conscious. Was murder. And then Cain's descendants were the first people to make weapons, David.
how much after Cain and Abel did we start this "thou shalt not murder" thing? Because it was clearly after.
Well, Moses, David, clearly.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know this can't and won't go on. Like when you say people won't keep going to work, like I don't think Europe is going to keep dealing with this.
Kids aren't going to school. Kids aren't going to keep going to school. It's graduated, dude.
Would you go to school? This girl could be. We don't know. I mean, maybe this girl could be walking home from school and like. And the thing is, the guy filming the video is the person in question. So you don't know what happened before the video, and he's trying to like kind of coach her into showing off and incriminating herself. Like, oh, show your knife, show it, go on, put your knife on camera. Like, what were you doing that she felt the need to have knives out, ready?
And to act all crazy like that.
Or to the point we were just making, maybe she just saw enough stories where she wasn't taking any chances. Maybe this guy did nothing wrong. And
it's
she's
that
just like,
bad over there.
and it's that bad. And like, I've seen enough stories about 14-year-olds getting raped by migrants, and I'm not fucking playing games.
I mean, Dave, it's not like they're fucking them outside churches unconscious or anything.
Well, it's a tough culture to break, Ryan. I don't know, when Trump went out and started talking about shithole countries and third world countries and you're rapists and you're right, all these things that he talked about. It's easy for the mainstream media, the people on the left, political left, whatever you want to call it. It's easy for them to try to score easy points. Like, oh, he's a racist. He doesn't even. He thinks Mexico's only sending rapists. Yes, the people coming here illegally typically are not the people who follow the laws. I mean, that's just common sense.
Why, Dave? Why would you say that? Criminals follow laws?
Because the first thing they do to get into this country is not following a law. It's the first step for them is breaking. The first thing they do upon entry to this country is breaking the law. So now I'm going to trust them from then on to be following the rule. Now they're going to follow the laws. Now that they've left Mexico because it's a better life here, now they're going to follow the laws. But when just to get here, it was just the one time. It was like, we're only going to do it once, Ryan. It doesn't make sense to me. It's not logical to me. I don't know. But I do think it's there's obviously a extremely dangerous culture in Europe right now with the migrants, which are, as I said, they're invading. It's an invasion. And it's being allowed by their governments. I know it's being allowed in the United Kingdom, Ryan. It's an island. It's an island. You don't just crawl onto the shore of an island. Like, they are being let in. There's no land borders. That's
big island, David. I mean, the Vikings got by. Clearly, David, maybe technology's not sophisticated enough to...
Right. The United Kingdom is its own pedophile island.
It's the king of pedophile islands.
It is the king of pedophile islands. It all makes sense, Ryan. That's why it was Little St. Geoffrey, because Big St. Geoffrey is the United Kingdom.
Back to code. There you go, boys.
Yes. I guess we're already talking about migrants. And it doesn't really apply to this person because this person was born in Maryland, Ryan. This is a Maryland man by definition. But Abrego Garcia, Ryan, I believe his name is.
Very Maryland.
Was ordered to come back. And then a judge is still trying to protect him being here, even though he's not here on correct terms, some would say. And then Trump threatened to send him to, I believe, Uganda. So I do like that Trump is just sending these people all over the place. But this video is taken because he is reportedly turning himself into ICE. But that is in fact Maryland man right there. Definitely not a gang member for MS-13. And yes, there he is reportedly turning himself into the ICE building because, let's be honest, they were coming for him again. This is kind of like that. It's the one of those things about Trump where he doesn't back down, he doesn't apologize, he just doubles down completely. Abrego Garcia was sent back here after being deported to El Salvador. He came back. A judge said, no, you can't do that. And Trump's like, I'm sending him to Uganda. Fuck him.
What's the next closest? The next closest place. If not, we'll send him to Gitmo. Get the water.
It's not. Here's the thing. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but these judges, which to be clear are unelected in most cases, they were appointed usually by let's say Joe Biden probably appointed this one, if I were to guess. And they were trying
Democrat
to.
judges.
This
Joe
is
Biden elected judges.
this is not checks and balances. Okay, when a judge is overruling a judge on his own is overruling the president of the United States of America. That is not a check and a balance. That is a judge abusing his power. Trump was
Some would say
elected.
political, David.
Well, you could say so. You could make the case that Trump was largely put into office by voters for a couple major things. We talked about one of them being not continuing these senseless wars across the world. I would say that was a big one. The economy was a big one, and cleaning up the borders was. I would think those would be the top three if you were to say our foreign policy, our economy, and our border policy would probably be the three things that landed Trump in office. And they were all areas where he was staunchly different than Kamala Harris, than Joe Biden, than the Obama Biden Harris administration. He was staunchly different on all these things, and I think these were the difference makers. And the foreign policy thing is the kind of the thing that got the libertarians on board. Like, okay, this is a guy who can win, who says he's not going to continue these wars, and that was major for him. But we're talking about the border policy, and this is what people want. People don't want these illegal immigrants to be running the streets, to be unchecked at the border, to be forced to stay here by federal judges that weren't elected by them. This is what Trump voters were hoping for. But I don't buy the but for what it's worth, I think the Trump administration is pushing this narrative that like the border is like completely secure and fixed, the safest and most secure. I'm sure it's better, but the idea that we're letting in now 0 illegal immigrants seems unlikely. But
They stopped showing up. The caravans turned around. They heard
put
Trump
in
was
reverse.
elected. They stopped the coyotes. They gave the money back. They said it's not worth the bounty on my head. Coyote tax refunds. We call them the coyote returns. The Acme returns.
Who remembers the movie Coyote Ugly? All sixes dancing on a bar.
Very pretty. After enough shots.
Ryan, are you ready for a great headline?
Was it a Jewish space laser quality headline?
No, this is what I referred to in the beginning as Hammurabi's Code. This, this is, I might have to read this twice.
Wait, what?
Rapist is let off for sexually attacking a woman after agreeing to allow his sister to be raped by his victim's brother in Pakistan.
Wait.
For the record, rape isn't funny. Just so
How the fuck did you find this headline, dude? How did you find this? What is this on?
Rapist is let off for sexually attacking woman after agreeing to allow his sister to be raped by his victim's brother. Pakistan sounds like a wild place. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the actual article. This is an old article, by the way. I don't know why this headline just randomly popped up.
Just remember that one article that was like homeowner shoots wife's lover or something. Remember? And I was like, oh, dude, he probably was fucking his old lady. And the guy ended up living in the guy's basement without him knowing for like a month or something.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Easy.
A
Crazy.
shocking case of revenge rape.
Revenge rape, dude. Oh my God.
Revenge rape.
Pornhub category.
Involving two families, 12 members of two families, has been unearthed by police in Punjab province, Pakistan. A man has been accused of raping a woman in Pir Mahal in the Toba Tek Singh district on March 20. Local news reports that the suspect's family had approached the victim's family for pardon and reconciliation. The victim's family pardoned the rapist on the condition that her brother would commit the same act to the suspect's sister.
Rape for a
What
rape,
in the
David.
fuck?
Hammurabi's eye for an eye.
12 people. Rape for rape. Eye for an eye. That's it, dude. A dozen
Rapes
people
will
attending
never
a
end,
meeting
David.
between the two families agreed to the terms. Could you imagine being the guys who like potentially did absolutely nothing wrong and now you have to be raped because your brother's a shitbag?
Are
Like,
we
what
thinking
kind
of
of
rape in the?
fuckery is that?
Are we thinking
The whole
of rape?
point.
Like, what are we? Are we thinking of rape only as like a violent context here?
It doesn't have to be violent, I suppose, but it
Well,
does
that's
have to
not
be
rape,
unwanted.
David. You can't rape the willing. The fuck? It's literally in the saying. You can't
Well,
rape
that's what
the
I mean.
willing.
It has to be unwanted.
So, what are you, hideous? Or are you married?
Uh,
You just don't want to have sex.
we could, yeah, maybe.
Okay. If the
A
first
police
rape
officer
was
found out about the case when.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say if the first case was violent, does the second guy get to like violently? This is fucked up. I'm confused.
Well, the only problem with this, comparing it to Hammurabi's Code, I mean, I did do it as a joke, but like now the guy's sister suffers when she did nothing wrong. True Hammurabi's Code is like she gets
You
to rape
raped
him, but obviously that doesn't work because you have to peg him. There you go. There it is. Peg him in the streets. He should get pegged in the streets
by a stone dick.
by a big stone dick. However big his dick is, that's how big the stone has to be.
Yes, find the same cock-sized
Same-
rock and
yeah.
rape him with it.
It must be exactly identical and shaped in stone.
Wow. I think we're really solving things here.
I like where this is going. I think we could fix the world. A police officer found out about the case when the two families prepared legal documents agreeing not to press charges against each other. So they tried to settle this outside of court. Pir Mahal Police Sub-Inspector Shaukat Ali Javed saw the report and reported the families to his superiors. All 12 people in attendance, including 4 women, of which one was the victim of the second rape, were arrested on Saturday. So it did actually happen, and then everybody got arrested after the fact. The case
So
has
you all
echoes...
fucked and still are going to...
So, yeah, that's fucking crazy. The case has echoes another incident in the southern city of Multan last July, where a village council
Is this the alternative? Look, is this the alternative? I get fucking... Yo, your headlights are off. I get my windows smashed out and fucking physically abused and taxed to death so that I can have fucking iPhones. Or I gotta have my sister get raped so that the rape that my brother did was okay. That's my options. Fund murder of children and pedophiles across the board as long as my 401k is good and everybody's happy with the stock return. We could all, everybody at the top could fuck kids and murder each other and kill their family members to be in the Illuminati and be rich and famous, completely cool. But the trade-off is my 14-year-old's got to stab a migrant in the streets to get home safe from school.
It doesn't sound like the world I would choose to live in.
Holy fuck, dude. Can you imagine the world before this place? See, like, really?
It's kind of fucked. Especially when you put it that way, Ryan.
Dude, we're fucked. You know what I mean? People are like, America's, yeah, we're fucked, dude. Everywhere's fucked, though. Everywhere's more fucked, and it was way more fucked. It's kind of crazy. It's actually kind of crazy. I heard, even if you go to like South America, Brazil, in a nice place, like the first world, second world country spots.
I'd call it a second world country, right?
Yeah,
like
there's
you're not a shithole, but
there's holes in the ground stuffed with garbage. People still shit in the streets there.
India's a third world country, I think. They try to pretend to be semi-civilized, but I think it's not second world yet.
We send you nuclear physics. We are a first world country.
Ryan, do you want to get into the gilf or not dating white men?
Is the guilt? Hold on. Can I ask
Yes.
two questions? Two questions about the gilf.
Sure.
Do we get to see a picture?
Yes.
Or a video? And is it worth it?
I don't know about a video.
What a picture. Let's go, gilf.
The content of the article is worth it. Is it worth it? That's for you to decide, I suppose. So here is, without further ado, Ryan, I will lead with the picture of the gilf. And the reason I'm calling her a gilf is because hot 65-year-old grandma says she only has eyes for younger men because they're energetic and more positive.
Oh, because they haven't been fucked over by women their whole life yet? Imagine being hot and 20, and then here comes a 65-year-old woman fucking your whole life up. Ain't that some shit?
65-year-old Leslie Maxwell is proof that age is really just a number. Considering she's single and ready to mingle, but only with younger men. There is no denying that Maxwell looks incredible for age, so much so that strangers often think she and her 21-year-old granddaughter Tia are sisters. Okay. Settle down.
Show me the granddaughter.
Settle down. Don't get me wrong. She's in great shape for 65. She doesn't look like she's 21, though.
David, she didn't know the player line. You know how many times I've told old ladies, "Oh, you ladies ain't over a day over 21. Oh, you're so sweet." They fucking love it. Look, men lie with their words, and women lie with makeup, with their eyes. Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Because of that, Ryan, she has a certain type of man that she is attracted to, a young, fit stud who's between 20 and 40. So good news. We're right in that sweet spot.
Let me guess, he's got to be rich, have an 8-inch cock, love his mom, know how to cook with one hand, and likes to sing poetry on Thursdays.
1 out of 6 ain't bad.
One out of 6.
I'll let you decide. The fitness fanatic.
Got to be the cock, David. Obviously.
I'm not standing up, Brian. I have basketball shorts. You know the rules. The fitness fanatic and the personal trainer is aware of her age, but she told What's the Jam that she's not slowing down anytime soon, and usually men in her age group are lazy and predictable. They're 60-5. They're retired. They want to fucking hang out.
That guy's worked 45 years. He wants to fuck 20-year-olds too, which is also the other funny thing that they're not going to say in that article.
It's like it's the most ironic thing. Like, you want somebody between 20 and 40, but so does somebody who is 65, who is a man.
That 65-year-old guy wants somebody 20 through 22. Get the fuck out of here.
Jesus Christ. The younger ones actually match my pace both in and out of the gym, she says. In addition to that, Maxwell appreciates... You know what she needs? She needs RFK. Her and RFK need to hook up.
Come here, baby.
Let me squeeze on those melons.
These are not genetically modified.
Seamless, just like me.
She was all 100% natural.
In addition to that, Maxwell appreciates.
No artificial dyes.
It's so rough. I feel it. You can feel the pain in his voice. Maxwell appreciates the lightheartedness of most young guys since they've all had, well, less life experience. Jesus Christ. A man who is confident enough to approach me is a good start. A healthy body so they can keep up with me and a sense of humor, of course.
Yeah, you're pretty funny thinking you're going to fuck 20-year-olds the rest of your life here.
All right, Ryan, hold up. The real story. You see her. She's in the grocery store. You're single. Maybe it's been a while. You're not stepping up to that. I wouldn't step up to that. I'm not interested in the slightest. Am I crazy? Am I the only one?
Dave.
I don't want a 65-year-old girl. I don't care if she has a 12
I may got
pack.
that dog in me, Dave. I may try to run a lap on that just that's
just for stories. I got that dog.
Got that dog in me, dude.
I'm
got that lace.
Dude, I'm not interested. Am I fucking weird? I don't want it. I too want somebody who's between 20 and 25. Dude, you got AARP. I'm out. I'm not interested.
I'd probably fuck the grandma to get to the granddaughter.
You're literally cashing in SSI checks. I don't care.
Fuck grandma to get the granddaughter.
Well, we don't know what
when grandma passes, I mean, yeah, I'm always here for you.
I can't. There's no images of Tia. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm sure she's on her Instagram. All right, what about not dating white men now, David?
Not dating white men. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm out. Not dating white men. Let's see if I can pull this up. I think it was below knife attacks. It's so hard to tell when it's satire, Ryan. It really is. I should just lead with that every time I play one of these clips. No, this isn't the same lady from the article before.
Friendly reminder, as a white American woman, I will no longer be dating white men. I'm looking for anything other than a white man. Okay? The heads up.
Very specifically. So she wants to be
reminder, as a white American.
Sometimes they play, sometimes they don't. So it seems like she just wants to be railed by black dudes, is my guess. And listen, she's living a good life.
BBC, dude.
Hey, she's got that dog in her too, Ryan.
Dude, look.
Yes.
Women want a big dick. I just don't. Sorry. It's just like I don't
think that's what she's pointing to in this, but
they want a big dick, dude. It's just they want everything. They're fucking greedy. I don't know. That's why they eat the apple after they were told to not eat the fucking apple. You got one rule: don't eat the apple. Ate the apple. That's just the way it is.
But what if the apple had a big dick, Ryan?
It did. That's why it's an apple, David. It had everything. It's Pandora's box.
The apple symbolism the whole time, Ryan? Am I missing out? What this
How the
story
fuck's a
was about?
snake in a garden? I got caught up to it. Somebody. Why would a malevolent God give you the ability to say no? Because that's free will, bud. You know that Lucifer revolted from God as well, and he was his favorite. Do you guys know that one? I don't know if you guys know that about the Bible. The devil was the favorite of God. He was his favorite angel, most beautiful, David, the most beautiful voice. Where the world was spoken with a big bang into existence, and he gave that power to the most beautiful angel that used it to corrupt him and all of man. Isn't that ironic, David? Why would you put a snake in a garden if it was perfect? Why would you put a malevolent snake in a garden, David?
It's a test.
Test of what?
Well,
free will.
Yes, free will. Your ability to make good choices, I believe, which inherently, if you have an ability to make a choice, by definition, you have to have free will, because if there is no free will, then there would be no choice.
If there wasn't choices, there wouldn't be free will, right?
Well, if there isn't free will, there wouldn't be choice. I think
That's
you
what
could.
I
I
mean.
think you could say both.
You would just do things. It'd be instinct driven. We would rape a lot more, probably.
Well, probably, but it could just be our
But we
culture.
would steal. We'd probably steal.
What? Let me tell you this: if there isn't free will, how? I don't know how to make this as vague as possible, but if there isn't free will, how do you determine who is virtuous and who is not virtuous? The virtue wouldn't even be a word. Like, that word wouldn't exist because there's no free will. Everyone would just be doing the same thing.
Impulsive.
Like, I don't understand the entire thing. And here's the thing, because this was this Sam Harris who said this? Can't remember. He's in theory, or at least he claims to be, a logical guy, right? Like, that's kind of his thing, science logic. It's the most illogical thing ever to say there's no free will. But it is scientific. People make scientific arguments for it. But remember, Ryan,
It's genetic. Your free will is tied to genetic predisposition.
But yes, science says potentially there is no free will. But remember, science also knows that if they lie to you, you trust them more. So why? Like, I don't trust that. I'll just follow logic then. There has to be free will, because otherwise there'd be no differentiation between people.
You think we'd just be instinct driven?
Well, we'd be like, do you ever see one of those movies where it's like people from the future and they're all wearing the same thing and they all look exactly the same? You know what I mean? It's like an old stereotype. For whatever reason, they just all became like one main race. That would be the world without free will.
Mm. Also, neurologically, like, if there was no free will, would there be dopamine receptors? Because dopamine actually keeps you engaged in hard things to receive the dopamine at the end of your pursuit.
If there was no...
Because, like, in order for me, like if I'm starving and I see a herd of deer and I barely have any energy, what would keep me going? Me starving, or the thought of me eating? This is very real. The thought of me eating would keep me go more than me starving would, obviously. So if you think about starving, you just fucking lay there and starve.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, so the dopamine is what pursues you and gives you the energy, the motivation, the clarity, the flow state to go get the food. I don't know. This is interesting. How do we get here?
Not dating white women? Not dating white men. Is that really how we got there? Man, we take detours.
It's not detours. It's inherently, because she wants big dick.
That's a detour. That's literally a detour.
Yeah. I just said she wants big dick. That's what it came down to.
And then we started talking about Adam and Eve, because I don't know. Adam must
look. We can say whatever to free will point. If you were to poll people, this is cross cultural, and everything I've seen at any analytical study scientifically, David, that people genuinely, on a balance of probability, out of 100 people, 95% of them would prefer to long-term date somebody of their own ethnicity.
Yeah, I think that would be okay, though, right? That seems normal to me.
Well, it checks out, doesn't it? Because what is the one thing you hear about DEI is that we need to have characters like Marvel characters that are black, so that black people have association, so that they feel more comfortable. Okay, that works. Then if it works in video games and comic book characters, it must work in dating, right? Like, sociology and psychology doesn't change just because I buy it in a video game or I date it in real life. That's why, actually, when you look at these things, we've talked about Roblox. When you look at these things, they're actually more higher predictors of human behavior than real humans, because you're looking at extreme behavior. So I know we just segued all over the place, but this is I think this woman's honest. She's probably like a teacher. educated professor, or she was married with, you know what I mean? Like, she probably, if you were to balance probability, lives a privileged life and like in the top 10% of people in the country. And because normally the people that say shit like this are in the top 10%. People, in my experience, in our life and our income bracket and our lifestyle, genuinely don't really care.
I don't think I would ever specifically about any. Like, I would never be like, "Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
going to date any blacks." Like, I wouldn't say that.
I definitely have like a
Your
like,
preference
I don't
is
have a
one thing, but
preference.
like, yeah, but saying like flat out, like, I won't date any blacks.
I have favorites. I will say that, but I
That
would
would be
not
crazy.
be.
Yeah, we talked
I would
about
be.
this, Ryan. 600K Asians. I'm all over it.
The Asian thing's odd, huh?
Asians are cool. Redheads are cool too, but they're fucking crazy. Ryan, we got a little bit into religion there, but I this always intrigues me, and I'm curious on your take on this. Chris Watts, who was the man who killed his wife and his children, and then like buried the bodies in like water tanks or whatever the fuck he did. I don't remember the specifics, but it was horrifying. Claims in a letter written in prison that he is a new man and he has been forgiven by God for murdering his wife and his daughters. This gets tricky for me because I think Christianity, religion, I wouldn't say all religion, Christianity for sure, does very much so allow this, right? Where by definition,
It's the main premise. They killed God's son. Those people
right?
murdered. He said, "I was the son of God. Follow me, and you will live eternal." And they murdered him. And he said, "You're forgiven. You're gonna all go to heaven." I'm kid story this, David. Obviously,
Is this what makes? I'm going to break this down a little bit more after I say this, but is this what made Jesus in general so incredible? Because think about this. I am not even tied to this, and there's zero chance I could forgive him for this because this is like literally the most heinous, like disgusting acts possible.
let me ask you
And
this: what if he was
yeah,
on drugs?
what if he was on drugs?
Right, and he was, and now that he's sober, he's like, "How did this happen? I can't even. I was a different person. A demon possessed me, David." Some would say they are called spirits, after all. Alcohol is. Not saying it's right. I'm just saying.
Well, I think
We've
that's
talked mental health on this program.
I think that makes a great case for why drugs are, you know,
Bad. Okay. Okay.
bad and good in general. In general, I get it, moderation and certain things, whatever. But I don't know. The way I look at this is almost in a way of that is why Jesus or God in
Exist.
general. But
Exist.
this is their measure of greatness because there's just no way the average person would look at this and be like, well, yeah, of course I forgive you, because it's so horrifying.
David, can you do me a favor? Can you look up the Ask Gronk? What is the Bible passage about judging the mark in your brother's eye? And tell him you want you want the like a modern version and the King James version. There's a reason it's called the golden rule, right? It gets boiled down. We teach our children it. I've taught my daughter her whole life. I literally told her it today that you are supposed to do unto others as you would do to yourself. Now, I know this is counterintuitive in thought, but if the bedrock of Christianity and by default our civilization in the West here, which is all Western cultures, Europe and everything, is that we are based and we all have value, and we are based on the idea that there is a God, an alternative. You know, that there on the other side of this, there is somewhere we all go. Everything is sacred. Everything does have value. But did you find the passage?
Yeah. So this, by the way, everyone use AI to your advantage. I'm not saying use it for everything, but some
And
things like It found the shit in 5 seconds. So, like, I'm just saying, make it a part of.
Yeah, just incorporate it into your day.
Yeah.
It took no extra effort to Facebook search or Google search that as, isn't there a parable about blah blah blah? Now, I'm obviously, David, I'm not having you bring this parable up to just underscore, because this isn't like, oh, Hitler gets off because I'm not supposed to judge the fucking sty in my eye. But it's not how I'm saying that. But this is in the This is in the oldest book on earth. You know what I mean?
So it's from Matthew 7:3. Here's the modern version. Why do you look at that speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye.
In forgiving yourself, you forgive others, David, which is why Jesus forgave everybody.
Do you want the King James Version?
Yes, of course, it's the preferred version. I'm not Catholic, but it is the version to read. Just because it's the oldest and truest and the most one-to-one translation to the ancient sea scrolls and all the translation in the ancient languages, the closest that you can get to all the Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit and all that is the King James version.
Well, now I'm going to sound like Shakespeare, but here we go.
It predates Shakespeare, David, but okay. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm just saying that's the thing that's relatable for people. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, the beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye.
Be great, dude.
That was pretty good.
Autumn winds, southern wind breaks. To be or not to be.
That's pretty well. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I think, David, to extend your thought, this went back to what somebody told me earlier. It's basically the same thing they say about God. Why would God allow cancer if he loves us all? And I mean, Dave, pull up
Maybe
the story.
because again, it's I think everything is a test, Ryan. Maybe it's
I was just gonna tell you this.
Testing your faith.
Ask Gronk about summarize the story of Job.
Do what?
Summarize the story of Job from the Bible.
All right, let's see.
This guy is like God's second in command besides like Jesus and John the Baptist. This guy fucking God.
Found in the Old Testament, it's a profound exploration of suffering, faith, and God's sovereignty. Here's a narrative summary. Job, did you say?
Yep.
A wealthy and righteous man from Uz, is described as blameless and upright, fearing God and shunning evil. He has a large family, vast wealth, and devout life. However, Satan challenges Job's faithfulness, arguing that Job is loyal only because of God's blessings. God permits Satan to test Job by stripping away his blessings, but not harming him directly at first. In rapid succession, Job loses his livestock, servants, and children to disasters. Despite this, Job remains faithful, saying, the Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. Satan then afflicts Job with painful sores, yet Job still does not curse God, though he laments his suffering. Job's 3 friends,
Don't even bother.
Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, arrive to comfort him, but engage in lengthy debates, arguing that Job's suffering must be punishment for a sin. Job rejects this, insisting on his innocence while questioning why he suffers. A younger man, Elihu, later speaks, emphasizing God's justice and sovereignty. God eventually speaks to Job from a whirlwind, not directly explaining Job's suffering, but revealing his divine power and wisdom through questions about universe's creation and governance. Humbled, Job acknowledges God's sovereignty and his own limited understanding. God restores Job's fortunes, giving him double his previous wealth, a new family, and a long life. It's kind of fucked up. They killed his old family, gave him a new one, but outside of that, I get
I
it.
give it, gotta take it, brother.
That
you know
is
what I
kind of
mean?
fucked up, but
I
yeah,
mean,
fuck, the
it's
old kid's
kinda,
gone,
you know,
but the new kids are fucking great. Clean up after themselves, fold their blankets and shit, you know?
yeah, it's the story of Job. I the only reason I know about the story, I mean, I know I reference the Bible a lot. It's mostly that we should all do it, but me myself. But I was told that to read Job because it was similar to my situation about suffering at the time of my life,
Mm.
and that's who I think of. Not like literally every time, but there's a reason the story exists, you know. Yeah, I don't know if we should forgive here or more. It's not my job, Dave. That's part of like this whole you gotta go to the scriptures. The guy murdered his family and he said he found God and God forgave him. Um so yeah, I mean, you know, no, there was an incident at Longhorn Steakhouse, David, in Cheektowaga. Um
Wa-
we'll get to that. But
Was
look,
it migrants?
look, morally, if we're doing Hammurabi, the guy should get fucking. It doesn't matter if God forgave you; you're not going to be forgiven in flesh. Like you're forgiven on the other side.
So here's a great question. I think you're right, which then begs, is Hammurabi's code,
Doing God's will.
well, it's doing the opposite of God's will, right?
Hammurabi's code is like if you steal something, you lose a hand. If you tell a lie, they cut your
Sure.
tongue out.
Right.
If you said that you saw something that didn't happen, they'd stab your eye out. If you
Right.
like, if you heard a
So, but
lie,
all
they'd
of
cut
that is
your ear off.
based in the opposite of forgiveness, right?
Right, which is why Jesus was David. I don't know if you know this, David. Back to the raping each other's family. Most of those people in all of forever thought that as long as I kill you, you killing this person was fine. Not that it makes it easier, but I guess I could go to bed now. Yeah, up until Jesus, David, everybody just thought I could, because I was spanked, I'm going to spank.
Interesting.
Now, it also says in the Bible, spare the rod, spoil the child, David. So I don't know.
Ryan,
It's full of contradictions, David. It's almost like it's the single greatest book of all time. That's weird. Only billion people have read the fucking thing. We still don't know who wrote it or how it was made. A billion people read it. It's crazy. Crazy.
Ryan, the New York Times. We got to talk about this. They posted this article.
About working out, David. Is this
100
tied to
push-ups.
Serena Williams, dude?
No. 100 push-ups and 50 pull-ups in under 10 minutes. What could go wrong? Fitness experts caution against jumping into a difficult routine suggested by RFK and Pete Hegseth, implying that it's dangerous to work out.
Why?
Yes. It just is.
Did
Ryan.
they say?
Well, it's a New York. Unfortunately, it's a New York Times article, so I'm not going to be able to get the information there. But
This, David, can you ask Gronk who was the first person? Who was the first person to like run like a sub 7 minute mile or? Did they? You could. I guess you can ask Gronk. Did humans believe you could only run so fast before your heart gave out or something? And it's going to reference this guy. I don't know his name, but he was the first person to run like a sub 7 minute mile. And doctors up until that point said that it's physically impossible for the human body to do this without collapsing and blowing. Like basically our hearts couldn't handle it. And now that we have all the neuroscience available to us and we understand hypertrophy training and everything else, when you push your body gets stronger. As long as you have the rest and nutrition to grow muscle, you will be able to do those push-ups and pull-ups eventually.
so, yes, it was a
Now,
4-minute mile.
it might be 10 years before you can do 100 push-ups and 50 pull-ups in 10 minutes. But if you don't do them, there's 100% chance you will never be able to do them. And that's the whole part of fitness. Literally, the whole thing of fitness is the mental aspects of it. And we have proven in neurological studies and biology and everything else that when you work out, it increases your brain health and you live longer. It's been whatever the New York Post is saying or New York Times. There's been unamountable, like you can't even count the amount of studies that prove that working out increases your lifespan. There's more studies than you could than Nobel Peace Prize winning scientists that believe that climate change is fucking real.
I have a friend who I think I brought him up recently, but I have a friend who runs he's got a YouTube channel. He's a personal trainer, and he has a science based approach to all this stuff. And I guarantee you, he would laugh at this article. I asked him about benefits of saunas. I said, "Did you ever do a video about the health benefits of saunas?" Because to me, it always sounded like I've been inside of a sauna. It feels good, whatever. But I've always wondered about like the actual health benefits of saunas. And he did, in fact, do a video on it. And some of the numbers that he referenced were things like 60% of the people in the controlled group had lower numbers of dementia, lower heart disease, just by people who do saunas, two 15-minute sauna sessions a week, I think was the control. Less likely to have heart attacks, less likely to have dementia, less likely
and they
to
linked I believe, if I'm not
stuff.
mistaken, it's linked to like these heat shock proteins that like are released in your blood. And what they do, it's basically like a artery cleanser, and it scrapes out all this shit in your heart. And Dave, like all those years of spraying bed liners and working in paint shops, I believe was doing that to us. I actually believe that. Now, it was a double negative because we're inhalating fucking hazardous chemicals, but cardiovascularly, like it was probably rather healthy for us.
Well, it very much did reference basically like cleansing, because what they were scientifically, the things that are coming out of your pores when you sweat is not just, water and sodium or whatever, potassium. It's all that plus like heavy metals, aluminum, microplastics. I'm going to have to hit the sauna a lot to get the spoon out of my dick, but at least there's an
my
out.
spoon-shaped cock, David. My dick-shaped spoon.
It's a teaspoon, but it does a good job, Ryan. Back to your original point. Yes, it was a 4-minute mile. In the early 1900s, many believed that running a mile in under 4 minutes was physically impossible due to the strain it would place on the human body, particularly the heart. Medical and athletic communities speculated that pushing the body to such speeds could lead to catastrophic physical failure, including heart collapse. The belief was rooted in limited scientific understanding of human physiology at the time and the lack of advanced training methods.
All right, just for fun, look up pictures of early bodybuilding before they synthesized steroids. Because this is actually what the human body is supposed to look like. Well, I don't want to say supposed to look like, but
I don't think these are going to be real pictures, though, because I'm asking AI. Yeah, this is.
You said general.
I don't think he can. Yeah.
ChatGPT, I can have it pull up like Google Images. It does it for me.
Probably.
I was just gonna have you pull it up because it's cool to see the early bodybuilders before they synthesize steroids. If I'm not mistaken, they synthesized steroids in like the 1910s or 20s, which is why Captain America people is a comic book character. But if you look at their muscles, they look like braided cables, and all those people did was push-ups, pull-ups, and like calisthenics, like jumping on a box, jumping up and down, like jump rope, hopscotch type shit, like lunges, like jump. You bring your knees to your chest, jump back down. That's all they did: push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and they got fucking jacked. like early strongmen were fucking jacked because they didn't have down like a lot of the shit that you know about working out now that we were discussing is from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like it's literally not an exaggeration. I have it. It's called the Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that's where it goes into that you lift the 4-pound, 50-pound dumbbells 7 days a week for 8 sets and add 5 pounds every week. Like that shit, that whole model of training like that came from Arnold. The Greeks used to just go dig ditches. The Romans and Greeks believed that the best workout you could do for core exercise was ditch digging, which is why like a third of the Romans' time was construction work. So those guys just fucking murdered shit, built shit, and fucked.
Well, the Egyptians must have been fucking jacked then.
Clearly,
Funny
only
enough,
the slaves, David. Clearly,
funny enough, I grokked how many push-ups can the average person do in 10 minutes. General estimates: average adult untrained might manage 20 to 30 push-ups total in a single set before fatigue sets in, spread over 10 minutes with short breaks that could likely perform 50 to 100.
no way. There's no way, dude.
50
I'm relatively fit at 20. I'm gassed in a row. If I were to drop down to 20, solid.
It's not saying 100 in a row.
I understand. I'm just saying their metric of spaced out people could do 20 minutes in one session. I don't know if they could. I don't know if the average American man who can't see their dick could do 5 push-ups.
Yeah, I don't know. Expert insights, fitness standards, 2019. The U.S. Army or CrossFit benchmark suggests that trained individuals can perform 40 to 60 push-ups in 2 minutes. Goddamn. I think I could nail 100 in 10 minutes, but to do 40 to 60 in 2 minutes is fucking crazy.
I could do 40 push-ups in 2 minutes.
40 push-ups in 2 minutes? Good solid push-ups.
Yes.
Real push-ups, not
yes.
just bouncing up
I
and
could
down.
do last time I did push-ups till I couldn't I was just shy of 20. I was in like 16, 17. That's without like thinking about my my family getting burned alive and shit and robots coming to ass fuck me.
I don't know, man. 40 good controlled push-ups in 2 minutes is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
When I was
it's fucking that's what I'm saying, dude. It's hard. Like I
too many
fucking
people
eat protein and measure my shit and like
do you know what I mean?
It's hard.
Like,
it's hard.
Do you know what I mean? On push-ups? Like people do this with working out generally. Too many people rely on the momentum.
Yeah.
Which is not
no controlled up, controlled down.
Right.
Eccentric.
Yes. Controlling the weight the whole way through the cycle, the up and the down, is what's giving you the maximum. Just bouncing up and down is not doing anything for anybody.
It's ego lifting, they call it, when it just looks like you're moving. You're moving weights. You're not lifting weights. You're just literally just moving stuff.
It looks more impressive than it is because really you're doing half the work but looking twice as impressive. But
it's kind of like when you watch a guy curl like real heavy dumbbells and he like swings his back into it and it works. You still grow muscle, but if we're talking science-based approach, honestly, the best way is to go lower weight with a better form and then do more reps. So I don't know. I call bullshit. Also, the people that write this article are probably fat.
At New York Times, you think?
Yeah, so I call double bullshit. This is kind of like the thing of like, I wouldn't trust your doctor if your would you go to a dentist if he had no teeth?
Would you go to
go
therapy
to a
if the therapist was depressed?
Try killing himself? Yeah, how'd you know you want to be a therapist? Well, I try to kill myself a bunch, so I might as well try to help people. Be like,
Perfect.
I don't know if I want you as a
I'm
I
going to
don't know
somebody
if
else.
I want you as a therapist. Yeah, do you go to a broke guy to learn about business?
If I went to a
Definitely,
therapist,
are you asking Grant Cardone how to make money, David, or are you asking the homeless guy on the street? Am I going to Terry Pagula for some business advice? Or the crackhead, that just stole all the radios out of the fucking cars on the block? Now, granted, the crackhead might do all right. What do we got? You got a quick one or no?
No. I think we're good. Ryan.
Cheektowaga.
Yeah.
by the Galleria Mall, David, the Longhorn Steakhouse, one of the
I heard it's
premier
getting nice over there.
Yeah, super nice. So nice that 2 black women went in there and started pepper spraying people. They pepper sprayed children.
Were they scared of the children?
I don't know. Maybe they were white children, David. and
Were they
it felt
migrant
justified.
children?
Well, granted, with the way that Western New York
Somalis.
likes to. Nigerian check scams were targeting old people in Buffalo disproportionately. Out of all the areas hit with the Nigerian check scams 10 years ago,
Well,
Buffalo was the worst.
I don't want to go there, but a lot of last names ending in ski.
Ski and Grandpa died 20 years ago with fucking money.
That's a Polish joke for people.
Well,
who
your
aren't in the
grandfather
area.
left me 300 grand. I might as well just fucking go gamble. Take my new husband on a cruise. I don't even like boats. Your grandfather liked boats, though.
I like kids who are 20 to 40. Pepper sprayed children?
You know what's interesting? She didn't talk about what she offered a 20-year-old man. Like, they keep up with me. But like, bitch, what do you got that I want?
A 6-pack and a dry box.
There's no other girl at the same gym that you and I are going to that's hotter than you with a 6-pack.
Yeah, but they're going to be unapproachable, Ryan. The 60-year-old will be way easier to get.
David, I'd take a fat 20-year-old over a fit 50-year-old. If we're talking evolutionarily, which one is more likely to give me a healthy child?
How fat, Ryan?
Where's your cutoff?
Ooh.
How many push-ups can they do?
0.
0? Fuck, jeez.
I can walk 5.
I don't think the average woman could do 10 push-ups. Push-ups are very hard for women. You're disproportional to your ass.
I could do 10 push-ups.
I didn't make the human body.
Yeah, but I don't count girl push-ups. It's bouncing. You're bouncing off the rack. It's just too.
Your tits are fucking 3 inches of the ground for free.
Yeah.
And they get lower for police officer. Can you believe it? Well, until next week's misogyny. What, Dave? What do you got?
I just didn't know if there was more to the story.
The next day's misogyny?
They just walked in and started pepper spraying.
Oh, shit,
kids.
yeah. I don't think they've released details.
No, it said that the 2 ladies were fighting each other, pepper sprayed each other, and then chose to pepper spray the rest of the people in there.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
Oh, it's like the rape for rape story.
That's literally, yes. Rape at the Longhorn.
Longhorn's code.
There's children that are hospitalized because they're in such rough shape from it.
Longhorn's
Can
code,
I just say, for a chain restaurant, though, you can get a good steak at Longhorn.
Longhorn claps, dude. That's
It's
literally
really
what
not
I say.
bad.
Texas Roadhouse is better than
No,
It is because of the bread, though.
Yeah,
I don't
Let's be
go
honest.
to a steakhouse for fucking bread.
You're just eating. You're eating the. Well, listen, it's pretty good.
Look, it's a great spot. It's a good, okay chain place to get a steak. If you want a chain restaurant locally, you go to Longhorn.
Longhorn was good last time we went.
If you want like a real steak, you go to like a steakhouse.
No, you buy it from a butcher and make it at home.
Well, I mean,
I agree.
I can grill anything. I can grill anything, especially this podcast. 100%. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in human history. As always, David, I appreciate you and your Hammurabi's code and Sam the most. And I will see everybody tomorrow for what's tomorrow? Wednesday, huh? Halfway.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Wednesday, my dudes. Fucking banana bread. Dude, what's Wednesday, my dudes? I don't know.
It's a vine.
Oh, Jesus, brain rot. Dave Ryan, 1773. Catch us on Rumble.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.